Hey everyone, welcome back to Comfortable Shoes Studio. I'm Les, and in this episode, I'm going to talk about my Everything Everywhere journal concept as I draw this lady from Earth's World on Instagram and talk a little bit about some of the drawings that I've done off camera in this particular journal. So first off, I'm going to work simply in this video with a micro tip brush pen from Dollar Tree, a Pilot Acroball ballpoint pen, and a Uniball Signo bold white gel pen. I'm also going to pull some water brushes into this to try and move some ink around. So in a previous episode, I did some commonplacing and some ephemera work. So so this image, I had worked on a very complicated background where I had done some free writing that overlapped to create sort of a graffiti look and then put some paint over the top of it. So I drew this lady with some brush markers, and then I used a permapeg marker to lighten up the background. Did the same thing on this page. It worked better on this page than it did the other page. A permapeg marker. I don't know why I keep buying these. I don't really like them. They're really only good for this, which is lightening up some background. They're not opaque. They don't do a good job, but I keep buying them because I keep hoping they're going to work better. They never do. So this might be the last permapeg marker I ever buy. So I'm going to work on this page. On the left-hand side, you can see some ephemera and commonplacing on one page. So in my Everything Everywhere book, there is a mashup of all of the things that I might use a notebook, a journal, an art journal, and a sketchbook for. So you'll see quotes like the Rick Rubin quote that is under my arm at this point in the video that I print out and I glue in. It's just something I'm kind of thinking about. I'm reading his book, and it's in the front of my mind right now. Also on that page are wrappers from Tango Cookies that my coworker brought back from Ecuador. She went there to visit family, and that's, not really my story to tell. But the Tango Cookies, I got to try them, and I thought it would be cool to add some ephemera to a page. And they tell a story about my life in that moment, enjoying treats from another country. And so in this portrait, I'm just, as I always say, trying to catch the vibe of the person. I find that if I get the eye shapes mostly correct, it is identifiable as that person. The eyes, nose, and mouth shape. And then you can exaggerate that a little bit and still feel like it's that person. I never strive for photorealism in these images. I'm really just practicing my drawing and giving it my spin. So yeah, back to the Everything Everywhere. You will see pages like this, spreads that look like this. One side is me practicing my drawing. The other side might be a combination of ephemera and commonplacing. It might be a combination of commonplacing and response to that in writing or just journaling. I do a fair amount of written journaling in my Everything Everywhere book. It's usually a response to something that's happening in my life. It can be a response to something that I've commonplaced. It might be a response to like the cookies on the page. Lots of reasons to journal. So there's a fair amount of that. Also, I use it as a planner. It's a loose planner where I focus on being able to see a large amount of time at one glance, because this lets me know when and where I can say yes and no to things. If I'm looking at my 6-month plan and I see that February is jam-packed, full of stuff, every week, I'm going to say no to more things during February than if I had more free time. This just really lets me get an idea of what what I have planned, also, like, I plan out my paydays. Everything is color coded. There's a key, and it really lets me get an idea of where I'm at from week to week and month to month for a full 6 months. And that's really important to me. I also pull from bullet journaling in this, and I have habit trackers. For me, it's become very important that I'm tracking my habits, particularly those around my health and wellness. You can learn more about that on my other channel, Less is More Healthy. But yeah, habit trackers really help me be able to see where I've taken care of myself, where I haven't taken care of myself. Also, I plan out in the planners where my doctor's appointments are. And I use a very simple rubber stamp that I've been using for at least 12 years. This fits in a pocket notebook. I'll do a month in my pocket notebook and plan out my appointments and things like that there. This is more so I can see things at a glance. And yes, the Everything Everywhere system is added to with the use of a pocket notebook. I still keep a pocket notebook, and that is part of this. It's for quick capture, grocery store lists, and things like that. Quick sketches all go into the pocket notebook. But the Everything Everywhere journal it's a mashup. It's a mashup of a planner, a habit tracker, a commonplace book, and an art journal and a sketchbook. It lets me plan out ideas. I plan out ideas for this channel. This video was planned out in this notebook. I'm thinking about, like, what does it mean to have an Everything Everywhere sketchbook or notebook or whatever you want to call it. But the Everything Everywhere journal is what I've been using. So it's that mashup of the commonplacing, the response, the journaling, the art. All of these things are contained within this. But that doesn't mean this is the only journal that I've got going. This isn't the only sketchbook that I've got going. I often will bust out a fresh pocket notebook for a new project. If I want to learn something specific, I will bust out a new composition notebook just for that topic. And that's because that's how I think. I will start an idea, I'll start a concept in my Everything Everywhere journal, and then realize I need to bust that out into its own notebook. So I'm thinking about, like, values journaling. My last round of values journaling, I did that in my Everything Everywhere journal, and I truly regretted that. I like to carry my Everything Everywhere journal around for months at a time. I plan out 6 months at a time in terms of the planner section. So that's the minimum amount of time I want to carry one of these around. Now, this journal I've been working on since, specifically only this journal, since December. And this is the other thing. Like, a journal can go from being an Everything Everywhere journal to something that stays at home, or it can be a journal that I've been using that I all of a sudden want to carry with me everywhere. And so that becomes my Everything Everywhere journal. I always have more than one journal going at the time, but for me, the Everything Everywhere journal is sort of the one that I take with me everywhere. It's in the name, right? But it sort of overarches over all of those other journals. And it really becomes a huge repository of information and ideas, and much of that will get busted out into its own journal or composition notebook. It might be something that I pull into my next version of the Everything Everywhere journal. So yeah, it's the Everything Everywhere journal. Like I said, it's a concept. It's not a hard and fast rule. It's an idea that this is the one journal I'm going to be working in for the most of my time, the majority of my time. This is the journal that's going to go with me everywhere. I'm going to start everything in it and then break out of it as I need to. Now, This Everything Everywhere journal that I'm currently working in is a bit of a failure. When I first started this is the same journal, the Mondo Llama, that I use for my work everything everywhere journal, and it works really well for work because I'm only traversing 4 floors. Oftentimes, it's the only thing I'm carrying, plus a couple of pens in my pocket, a couple of markers, and I'm not, it's not a lot. But I found that when I am also carrying, a camera, a video camera, my phone, and a sketchbook, and the Everything Everywhere journal, it becomes really kind of heavy feeling. So this journal is too big to be my Everything Everywhere journal. It's 200 pages. It's 9 by 12. It's literally just too big for me to cart around in my backpack. Oftentimes when I'm out and about on my own, I'm only carrying a fanny pack. Or for those of you who are not in the US, a bum bag, a hip pack, a lumbar bag, whatever you want to call it, a small bag. And so when I'm out and about and it's just me, this is too big. So I do carry my pocket notebook in those occasions, and I am switching over to the notebook or the Everything Everywhere journal that you can see under my left hand here. So because it's just a more compact size, it's not as heavy as this big journal. I will continue to fill this big journal at home, but a lot of my ideas and concepts that I've been working on will get transferred over to the new Everything Everywhere journal. In terms of commonplacing, I use foam memo to print things out and slap it in here. I use sticker paper. I use glue rollers and the regular unsticker paper to glue quotes and things that I'm thinking about into my Everything Everywhere journal. So that's just a brief introduction to the idea of the Everything Everywhere journal. I'm probably forgetting a ton because I'm not looking at my notes as I'm talking about this. But I thought it would be more interesting than just staring at me draw. So if you've enjoyed this, please leave a comment about how do you use your art journal? Do you take it with you everywhere? Do you not? Any thoughts on the Everything Everywhere journal concept? And leave a comment down below how you use your art journal in your daily life. Thank you for being here. Thank you for the support. If you're interested in learning more about this, I do have some supporter-only stuff over on Ko-fi. Head over there and check that out. All right. With that, thanks and bye. I'll see you next time.